All of life is a lesson in accepting that you're going to lose everything. And every experience in life, besides the ones that you find pleasure in and you find happiness, like getting married, having a kid, or buying a new car, well, there's all the other experiences. And all those other experiences have to do with loss. Today is 9/11 anniversary, right? Mm-hmm. And all the people, many thousands of people, are still remembering their loss of the people that died that day unexpectedly. Mm-hmm. They didn't do anything. They were just showing up to work, and they died. Mm-hmm. And everyone left behind has to remember that, and also has to understand and work with loss. So eventually, when you die, you lose everything. So you become a complete renunciate. No body, no mind, no nothing. No objects, no relatives, no nothing. So in life, there's experiences of loss that teach you about renunciation. But of course, those are unexpected, reluctant renunciation of someone, place, or thing, or objects. You know, a big flood comes, takes your house, so you now renounce your house. Your house has been renounced for you. You didn't have a choice. Now, spiritual practice is, on the other hand, a choice based on a conviction. And that choice is you are renouncing your very own self as a separate one, or your ego, or the activity of seeking for status, attention, gain, benefit for yourself. And you're willing to give all that up because you have a conviction. And that conviction is to wake up. To be here to wake up, not to acquire. Everybody's lived a life has to come to terms with, on their road to acquiring happiness, states, people, places, presents, through earning it, hoping something nice happens, through giving it. They're all going to have to come to terms with they're also losing people, places, things, objects along the way. How someone comes to terms with that helps them to make sense of their real humility in life, their real position here, and what it's really like to live. Those who cannot come to terms with it get really strange, crazy, aberrated in ways that become very isolating, disconnected from divine unity, disconnected from each other. So you have to make sense of the loss. That's how you can have a good death. Without making sense of what you have to lose along the way before you're going to lose everything at the end, you have to make sense of loss as a divine plan, as a lesson of life, as a lesson of happiness, of the lesson of love. To make sense of loss as a lesson of love is very, very difficult for people. Very, very difficult. When you lose somebody through death, you forever feel that loss. You don't forever feel that they have arrived in the true unity in which you are also arising, in which the heart, the relationship, the love always continues. You feel ripped off from that love. I assure you, in a real renunciate life, understanding loss, the feeling that you're ripped off from love is not really real. You won't feel that way. You will feel always the unity. So that's why if your guru's in the body or not, your guru can appear to you through dreams, visions, intuitions, any way possible. That is possible. Or impossible even. They can appear to you and guide you to the lesson of life and to the unity with them as the sacred. There's no limit on that, whether I'm in the body or not, or you're in the body or not. There's no ever limit to love, and there's continuity in that service and in that capacity to realize unity. So as older people, have you made sense of loss? Have you made sense that you're losing? You're losing your physical agility, you're losing your memory, you're losing everything to do with body, and lots of things to do with mind. You've known different people that have come and gone in your life. You had different situations, different jobs, different places to live, different cars. So things have come and gone. Have you understood loss? So that's why I wanted to talk about renunciation. Renunciation is the renouncing of the ego reaction to loss. It's not the renunciation of happiness. It's not the renunciation of love. It's renunciation is the reaction, the ego reaction to loss. That's all it is. Mm-hmm. So you're just going to renounce your reaction to loss. So what is real practice with loss? What is the real practice of losing something? It's the hint. There's always a hint in loss of the prior unity, of the true unity of everything. So when you lose something, where'd it go? Is it hiding behind the seat? Did it fall off the planet? Did it lose its body? What happens to things you lose, to people you lose? Where are they now? Well, you're here to realize the self, to realize God. So you have to have at least the conviction they're with God. Or they are as God. Or they will return to learn and be as God. That everyone is evolving to the perfect renunciation of this idea of being separate from God. That's what they're renouncing. Your love here is to lose ego and to regain true self. To unpeel the layers where you activate and you act out this acquiring myself, acquiring fulfillment, or losing at fulfillment and loss, and your reaction against loss. Many people get very bitter when they lose something and very reactive. And many people get very deluded by whatever they seem to gain in this life. And deluded means they become the special me, separate one. Both instances of ego are loss of feeling of that unity with the sacred. Okay, what is renunciation though? Renunciation is living a life where you're not a seeker anymore, where you're not seeking an experience, looking to be made special, looking to be fulfilled, because you know that everything in life is really not based on fulfillment, but actually based on loss. You're going to lose everything. Every lesson in life is not about how to get more pleasure and be more fulfilled. Everything about life is showing you you're going to lose something. Now, later, more and more and more. Eventually, you're going to lose your whole body-mind mechanism. What's left when you lose that? Well, if you haven't established the love, intelligence, and the recognition of yourself as the sacred, it's just going to be very difficult. If you don't know who you truly are, when you lose your car, your engine, you don't know how to get anywhere anymore. You're just going to be completely bewildered. And that's everybody's response to loss. That's the ego's response to loss, is being bewildered by it, and mad and reactive. And yet everyone that's ever lived has died, and everyone's gone through the loss of a dog, person they cared about, job they liked, anything, everything. We've all experienced loss, but very few people make sense of what loss is and what it's trying to show you and teach you, and how you should, what kind of relationship should live in it. So a renunciate life is an intelligent life in relationship to your conviction of who and what you really are, and and also the recognition of what loss is. You have to understand loss, all right? So in being faithful, that serves in your conviction that you're here to understand the loss and also to live happily in the conviction of the sacred. So if your body hurts, there's still the happiness of the sacred, your love of the sacred. If your mind is not as quite as sharp as it used to be, there's still your love. Nothing can touch the love of the sacred. The sacred loves you right back. The sacred is you loving the sacred. There's no break in that continuity ever in the conviction. If you're searching for the ego to get yourself personally fulfilled, you break the realization of that continuity. You don't get to enjoy it. You're looking for yourself. And then when loss comes, you're very pissed off. Okay? A renunciate life is living a life where you live very deeply and profoundly in that conviction. And you begin to thus feel that relationship, always with you, always guiding you. I've always said, when you go about your life, do you take me with you? And I mean quite literally, too. I mean, like, if I was standing next to you, because I've lived with all of you for years and years, so you know what it's like to live with me, and you know how I understand life, how I am realized, and so you have the voice of realization with you. You've seen it demonstrated to you under all circumstances. So I've always said, take me with you. And when you're going out there, going about your life, and you're about to do something that is egoic and discontinuous of the realization of sacred, of me being with you, ask yourself, what would Santosha think of me doing this or choosing this? Ask yourself. Now, if you go about your day and never really ask yourself that, that means that you're either in a coma, or you want to go about and have your own independent self, and your conviction of your relationship and your faithfulness to me is not that important to you. So a life of renunciation, that I am with you, that I am always asking you, are you with me now, or what are you doing? Are you with me now, or what are you doing? Are you loving me now, or what are you doing? That you allow that question to be asked by me being with you all the time. I'm with all of you all the time. So if you allow yourself to ask that and then change your course of action to being faithful, to being convicted that you are with me, serving love, not serving ego or being a reactive ego. So that's the question. To be a renunciate, you do it every day, as often as you can, as often as necessary, all the time. Because in asking that, you keep your conviction and your assertion that I'm with you. Mm-hmm. So if you want a part of your life, or you want to go out and say, okay, I come to Friday night meditation and I'm part of this service, but the rest of it is my time and I do whatever I feel like. If you want that, you've had it. And the results of it is, in the face of loss, in the face of not being fulfilled, you're upset, you're mad, depressed, you're reactive, you feel disconnected from the universal unity, from the sacred, and you have to live with that. I'm not going to fix that up for you. You have to bring me with you to fix it up. I'm not going to fix it up. I lived with you all these years. So of course, in all these years, I've shown you what the choice is. So if you're not choosing it, you're going to get the same results everyone else in the world does. Pretty much not convicted of the sacred as your true love relationship, and you also can't deal with loss of any kind without making up crazy, hysterical reactions. Okay?
Thank you.
Well, you're all getting towards, not you guys, you're younger, but you're getting towards the final push in your life, and you can just go the way of loss and reaction and take care of me and poor me and I'm not fulfilled and I'm mad. Or it can go the way of really walk about with me, really walking with me, bringing me to everything that's required in your life to keep an intelligent life. So the point of the example, the realizer, is they experienced what you experienced, the suffering, the loss, the pleasure and experience, but they said, it's not enough. It's not true. And they felt an intuitive love or something that was so infinite and bigger than all that. And they had to follow it. And they had to do what was necessary to live in it, to be it, to know it, to love it. And they had to keep doing that. The difference with you guys is you're just trying to hang out with me and hope it happens. It's just not going to happen that way. I can save you 1,000,000 times for the consequences of your ego. That's still not going to cause that true love to awaken in your heart, to live. You have to just say, however badly I love, and I want to love more. What I've seen with older people is like, they don't know how to deal with all the loss, and they're the big loss that could happen any minute to them. They're just totally can't deal with it. They're hysterical. They're not established in love beyond experience, beyond just being a body-mind. So it's just this terrible annihilation of everything they're familiar with, instead of it's the embrace and complete freedom of the love of the divine, you know? The divine's not going to let you down. You're doing something to let yourself down. You have to see what that is and stop doing that.